Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Chris Yee.
Today we're taking a look at a game called Mountain Goats, which is from Board Game Tables, now all play. Mountain Goats is a roll dice and move up columns game.
A roll and move game. It's garbage.
That's not what I said at all. But it could be garbage. Well, let's take a look, and we'll be right back. At the beginning of the game, you're going to place the cards out like this, and there's also a pile of point tokens that are going to be above each of the numbers here from 5 to 10. Each player is going to have their goats underneath. You have one goat underneath each column. On your turn, you're going to roll the dice, and you're going to take these dice and make groups of them. So, for example, with this one here, I might do one group of 5, another group of 5, and then a group of 6. But I could also make a group of 10 and 5, but I made 2 5s and 1 6. Let's say I'm the red player. I would then move my 5 up twice, and I would move the 6 up once. The next player, yellow, might go, and they're going to roll the dice here. And, well, 4s aren't very useful here. So maybe they'll do 1 8 and 1 6. So the gray player moves up 1 8 and 1 6. And that's what you're going to do. The only special rule here is 1s aren't going to be particularly useful. If you roll more than 1 1, then the extra ones after the first one you can change to anything that you want. So I could do this to get 3 6s. Now, what are you trying to do? Obviously, you're trying to get to the top of the mountain. If you get to the top of the mountain, you get a point token of that. Not only that, if you get to the top of the mountain and you roll more numbers of that type, you keep taking point tokens. So if I'm there at the top and I roll 2 more 6s, I'll take 2 more point tokens. If someone else gets to the top of the mountain, then they take a point token, and I'm shot all the way back down to the bottom. So whenever you get to the top, you push anyone else there. Other people can be on the same space, but once you get to the top, everyone there goes to the bottom. And that's kind of it. When all the point tokens are gone, that lane is effectively dead. If you get 1 point token of every color, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you take one of these diversity tokens here. The highest is 15. And it goes down to 6. You can only get one of those for having one of each. When all 4 of these bonus tokens are claimed, or when 3 mountains no longer have chips, then you keep going till everyone has the same number of turns, end the game, and whoever has the most points is the winner. So this game, as far as I can understand, is a very popular game. Lots of people play this, and I can see why, because it's really easy to teach. The only rule that I think, like if I was teaching a group of what we would call non-gamers, which I don't know necessarily that, but I walk into a room and there's a lot of people not playing, I could teach this game instantly.
Yeah.
It's the roll more than 1 rule.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you were talking about this already. So I think that this game, you could demo it very easily. It does well at conventions for that reason. And you just don't teach that rule until it comes up because it really sticks out. The whole game is so smooth.
Right.
It's a single idea. It's a single mechanism. But also because the numbers are 5 through 10, you're like, here's a Hello Kitty Band-Aid on like a hard rock musician. It just sticks out very noticeably. It's not bad.
I wonder if it would just be, I mean, I don't know how much it would affect the game, but just to say, you can always change 1s to whatever number you want. Done. Like 1s are wild.
Sure, right.
But it's every one after the first one. I don't know. Again, I think the game is good, spoiler, but I just felt that rule feels like one clunky rule in a very smooth game.
Exactly. It just sticks out. I don't mind your Hello Kitty Band-Aid. It's very pretty. It's nice. But wow, does it kind of contrast with the rest of what's going on. Because the rest of what's going on is a really smooth, simple game. Roll some dice, make some choices based off of that. And I like that mix. Yeah,
it's really easy. It's also fun. There's not a ton of choices to be made other than, there isn't. There's just the one choice. Hey, I got these dice. What am I going to take? But you almost always can pick between multiple numbers. Sometimes you're like, well, I guess I'm taking this number. It's the only one I can do. But usually you have a choice. And there's a few small tactical things you can do. Like if me and Chris are the second, or at the top of a column. I don't want to move to the top necessarily if he's going right after me. I want to let him move up. And then on my next turn, I can move up and kick him out. Because I know if I move up, I might be there for 1 turn. I would like to be there multiple turns. That's a big thing in this game.
Absolutely, especially if it's one of those where it takes longer to get up there, or Or you might choose to actually go up there right now if that's going to complete one of those sets.
That's true, too, right.
There's enough little things going on that it'll make you say, 7, that's good. Maybe. Nah, I think I will. And I like that little dynamic. This gets compared to other little games in the genre. I'm not sure if you want to discuss that.
Sure, the main one obviously being Can't Stop. Can't Stop is a classic. It's been out, I don't know, since the 60s. And it's going to look a little similar to that. Can't Stop is a very different game in my opinion, though, because Can't Stop is not about what you roll and then making choices, because usually when you roll Can't Stop, the combos they're easy to decide what to do. Can't Stop is, do you stop? It's all about pushing your luck. There's none of that in this game.
Yeah, I think that was my one thing I was surprised about. You roll dice and then you move and your turn's done. And that's not bad. And I think that the one thing that this probably has an advantage over Can't Stop is I think that this is actually easier to teach.
Oh, for sure.
I think this is easier to teach. And also the form factor. It comes in this small box. This is really easy to bring to situations where you said people might not be gamers there. They might not be people that they describe themselves. I'm gamers. Bring this little box is less intimidating. Then you set it up and it's a little bit bigger than it looks, but it's very inviting.
I'm also a big fan of how it looks. I think it's really pretty. I like the goats. I think I normally don't like cards as a board type of thing, but this one works fine. I also, when I was just setting up for the overview, I was thinking, man, this game can take a while to set up. But it was pretty fast, because you just put out the cards, and then all the chips are the same color, so you gather them and put them in their spots. Mm-hmm. So for me, this is a 7 out of 10. It's very fun. It's not, for me, it's not the kind of game I want to play multiple times. It's my opener. Hey, for 2 things for me. This is the opener for a night. Hey, we're going to play this while we're waiting before the big game happens. Mm-hmm. Or a closer, at the very end of a night. When we're cooling down. In fact, that's the last time I played this. That's what happened. That's fine. It's also, though, a fantastic gift game.
Yes.
I can give this to somebody who doesn't play a lot of games, and it's not a dumb game. There's good strategy in the game. But it's also a game I can teach them, and they're not going to have to call me later on and go, how does this play? Because it's that easy.
Yes, I agree. And for those same reasons, I'm giving it an 8. I think I have a lot of fun with it. My daughter can play this with us, and she kicked my butt the first time we played. You know what I mean? Just with very minimal coaching. She's like, I want to move. I rolled like 4 5s. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just getting a deluge of tokens, and that feels great. So I have a lot of fun, a lot of dopamine hits, a lot of fun excitement.
It's true, even if you lose. And scores in this game can be all over the place. You can lose by like 40 sometimes. Yes. But you still got a whole pile of point chips, and it feels good.
Yeah, absolutely. So an 8 for me. I really like it.
Well, there you go, folks. That's Mountain Goats. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Chris Yee.
Keep on climbing.